different explanations. Those different explanations are there. One of the explanations is that she's the daughter of Vindhya Mountains. Vindhya Mountains prayed to get a person that could defeat Mahadev, Shiva in battle. And the only person who can defeat Shiva in battle is Krishna, And so then Lord Brahma has already given the boon. He approaches Krishna, and he approaches Radharani and says, just this once can you appear in the Vindhya Mountains. So usually Kirtita is always her eternal mother. But this once she appeared in the womb of Vidya, a mountain's wife, and then she was transferred. So there's a story like that. Another story is that when Vrishabha Maharaj was taking bath in the Yamuna, on a golden 1,000-petal lotus flower, she appeared. She was the dazzling golden deity on the flower. So again, there are different various explanations. I won't go into detailed explanations about her appearance. But Vacharyas say the different explanations are because those things could have happened in different kalpas, and that's why we have those different explanations. And Krishna is Anandamayo Bhasha. He doesn't need anybody else. He's Atmaram. He's happy in himself. For us, when we want to be happy, when we want something external to make us happy. But Krishna, he's Atmaram. Everything is within him. So he doesn't need anybody. But still, there is no fun to be alone. For love, there has to be reciprocation. So Krishna was sitting alone in Rasamandal this day, and he was thinking and he wanted to enjoy himself. And just because he was thinking like that, the Hladini potency, which is the pleasure potency, came from left side of Krishna's body, and it was in the form of a 14-year-old beautiful girl, and that is Radharani. So that is her appearance in the spiritual world. And they say that Ra means that because she appeared in Rasamandal, and Dha means that immediately after appearing, she started running and get flowers to offer flowers to the lotus feet of Krishna. So Dhavati, the action of running starts with Dha in the Sanskrit language, and so that's why she's Radha. Another explanation is she appeared on Anuradha Nakshatra, the star of her appearance is Anuradha, and that's why she's called Radha. So that is her appearance in the spiritual world. And then Sri Radha is a mine of divine qualities. So if I have time, I will teach her 25 qualities. I only have a half an hour and we started a few minutes late, so I don't know if I have the time to do that. But they say that Sri Radha is very, very humble and she's very loving and caring. So during Julam Yatra, she personally makes arrangements for the other gopis to be with Krishna because she thinks everybody is better than her. And in Vrindavan, she's surrounded by many gopis, but she's the Pradhana Nayika. She's like the main gopi. She's the leader of the gopis. And Sri Krishna, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, in his masterpiece literature, Chaitanya Chaitamrita, talks about Radharani's position, her identity, and her activities. And he says that Srimati Radharani and Krishna are one soul, two bodies. So she's like the other half of Krishna. Although Radha and Krishna are one, they have separated themselves eternally into two forms for the purpose of having pleasurable pastimes. And Radha and Krishna cannot be separated. And our acharyas give many examples of how they cannot be separated. They say it's like you cannot take whiteness out of the milk, you cannot take the sunshine out of the sun, you cannot have gold ornaments without gold. And so they give various examples. They say that you cannot have like a pot, you cannot make pots without clay. So they give so many different examples to show how they're inseparable, and you cannot access Krishna without Radharani. And also they say that when Radha and Krishna enjoy together, the conditioned souls are benefited. And it's explained, it's like she's the mother of all living entities and Krishna is the father. So the mother has to be nourished, and then the mother gives her breast milk to the children are nourished. So that when Radha and Krishna are having pleasurable pastimes, that transfers into our betterment for all living entities. It's a good thing. So Radha gets her nourishment from Krishna, and then all other living entities get their nourishment from Radharani. And the example is like Krishna is like a strong blackish tree, and Radharani is like a creeper that goes and she tightly embraces Krishna. And so the creeper gets the nutrition from the tree, And then all the flowers and everything that grow on the creeper get the nutrition from the creeper. So that analogy is given that how Radharani is the medium that everybody else goes to Krishna. And so she's the crown of all the gopis, and she's the best among the gopis, and she's described as the Ketaki flower in the garden of gopis. Ketaki flower is supposed to be very fragrant, and so she stands out among all the gopis. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes that if someone wants to serve Krishna without taking help from Radharani, they're very foolish, they're not going to be, their bhajan is not going to be fruitful. So Acharyas also, that's why they say that we have to go, it's compulsory that we go to Krishna through Radharani. And Krishna's Leela, Krishna has to do no work. All his Leelas are taking place spontaneously and very naturally without any effort. And Radharani is the Radharani potency that gives pleasure, all pleasure to Krishna. So whatever service we do, whatever we do has to go through her. And only the ignorant think that they can worship Krishna without Radharani. But the devotees will never give up. So that's why devotees will never give up the lotus feet of Sri Radharani. And one of her beautiful qualities is that she's Karunama, she's very merciful. And Bhakti destroys all miseries and develops Krishna Prema, they say, just like a lamp eats darkness. So when there's a lamp and when there's light, it automatically eats all the darkness. So that's another analogy given in the Shastras. Sri Radha removes all miseries, and Krishna, and hearing Krishna's glories, chanting the holy names, is the only remedy in the material world. Not in even in the spiritual world, everywhere, that is the only remedy for all problems. Like they say, only a lion can kill an elephant. So, like how the lion is the king of the forest, similarly the bhakti process, the holy names of the Srimad Bhagavatam, glories of the Lord, and any other temporary solutions that we might think in this material world are very foolish. They're only temporary, they will not work over a long period of time. So the only thing that works is the process of bhakti. And to illustrate Radharani's mercy, there's a nice story. And that is, there was a she-jackal in Vrindavan, and she was being chased by a number of children who were trying to set fire to her tail, throwing stones on her, and she was crying. In Vrindavan, Sri Radharani is the queen of Vrindavan, she's Vrindavaneshwari. So she heard the cries, and she sent Lalita Sakhi, one of her companions, to find out what was happening. And Lalita Sakhi came back with the she-jackal and explained the situation. And Radharani was so merciful. Not only did she bless the she-jackal and take her away from her suffering, she gave her the position of a maidservant. So from the body of an animal, the she-jackal became a maidservant. She became a Manjari in the spiritual world. Such is the compassion and mercy of Radharani. So it is very easy to approach her. She's very loving and very merciful. So we would all do well to approach her. Another beautiful quality of Radharani is that she's very shy. And although she's the supreme goddess and she works very hard in Nandavavan, she prepares all the bhoga for Krishna because of Durvasa Muni's blessing that anybody who ate food that she made would not fall sick and would be healthy. Mother Yashoda always invited her to cook prasad for bhoga for Krishna. And so whenever she went, she never took the credit and she never used to come forward to serve the food. She would only make the food and she would give the chance to other people. And Yashodamai, observing all this, would always ask her to sit and eat afterwards. And she would say, don't hesitate to eat prasad. Please stay in my house. I'm like your mother. You're like my daughter. So please eat freely in my house, play in my house, joke in my house, lie down in my house. And when Radharani hears all this from Yashodamai, she feels immense pleasure. And she feels very happy to hear because she never wants to be separated from Krishna. So when she hears this from Yashodamai, she feels very much ecstasy and joy. And when Krishna goes for herding the cows, they say the elderly Gopals, they all will take part of Krishna. So the first darshan is for the elderly Gopals, the next darshan is for the elderly Gopis, and then it is the young Gopals who would actually accompany him into the herding activities, and then the young Gopis, and last is Radharani. Radharani always stands behind, and she's the last one to see him go. So that is her humility. And even though Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that all goddesses of fortune are expansions of Radharani. So Radharani is the source and origin of all goddesses of fortune. But still she is very humble in her attitude. And Jiva Goswami writes that she has 100 names and Gandharvika is one of her names. And she's the internal energy of Krishna. Because some Vaishnava Sampradayas believe that Radharani is the heavenly temple, so they have misunderstanding on that. And so that's the correction that Jiva Goswami said. She's called Gandharvika, but that's one of her names. She has thousands of names. That doesn't mean that she belongs to the Gandharva planet. It's a misunderstanding. And Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur write in different scriptures the beautiful nature and the physical beauty of Radharani. So I just want to touch upon that a little bit. Kaviraj Goswami writes in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Premera Paramasara Mahabhava Jani, Se Mahabhava Rupa Radha Thakurani, that she's the personification of beauty and the essence of Mahabhava. And Rupa Goswami writes that Radharani's eternal age is 14 years, 2 months, and 15 days. She's eternally youthful. She does not age beyond that age. Just like Krishna, when he was in the battle of Kurukshetra, he had sons and grandsons, but he looked like a 16 or 18-year-old youth. Krishna and Radharani do not age beyond a certain, they are permanently youthful. So that is one of them. And she does not grow beyond that age. She's always that old or that young, if you want to approach it in a different way. And her complexion is molten gold, and she wears different color garments. Her favorite color is blue because it reminds her of Krishna. And she always wants to be absorbed in Krishna, so that's why her favorite color is blue. And sometimes she wears a red shawl on her hips. And Kaviraj Goswami writes again in Mahabhava Chintamani Radhara Swaru Lalita De Sakita Kaya Vyuharu. Her beauty is like a Chintamani jewel, and Lalita and Vishaka and all the Sakis are her expansions. So all the gopis actually are her expansion. In Radhashtakam, Krishnaraj Kaviraj Goswami again writes, Kanchana Jagabrahari Kaurava Ritinam Narchita Jatkanda Kirti Indi Saurava Kirti Indi Saurava Kirti Indi Saurava. Her splendorous body lusted defeats the golden lotus flowers. So that's her complexion. And Rupa Goswami explains that Radharani's bodily complexion is so brilliant, so effulgent, that it chastises lightning. It's so more brilliant than lightning. Chastises even the champaka flower. He's giving a comparison, similes to what her complexion is. Complexion threatens gold, he writes. And in his amazing description, he says the beauty of her effulgence illuminates all 10 directions. So whenever she walks, she brightens the whole place up. He writes that Radharani's face is more brilliant than 1,000 full moons. And her forehead is like a crescent moon. And on it, she wears saffron-colored tilak. So all descriptions are there in the Shastras. She puts her bindi in the center of her 2 eyebrows. And the sun, Bhaskara, the sun god himself, becomes her bindi. And then her eyebrows defeat the bow of Kamadev. Kamadev is Cupid. So it's arched like Kamadev's bow. So all her descriptions of her beauty are given. Her eyes are beautiful like lotus petals. And Rupa Goswami writes that they are moving like safari fishes in the ocean. So they're constantly moving. Her eyes are moving hither and thither. And she wears black mascara. And there's a little story about the mascara in one of the Krishna pastimes, the Radharani's pastimes that I've read. And one time, Krishna came a little bit early and she heard his flute. And Radharani got so restless, and the gopis were decorating her, and they had finished all her wearing her sari, her makeup, her jewelry, everything, but they hadn't done her eyes yet. But she didn't care, she just wanted to run and meet with Krishna. So she just runs out and meets with Krishna, and Krishna sees her, and he realizes that she did not have her mascara, and Krishna himself applies mascara on her eyes. And they say that her mascara is like, on a dark moon, on a new moon day, the darkness is there. All the darkness is accumulated, that is like mascara on her eyes. That's the analogy that Rupa Goswami gives. And they said that he compares her nose ring to a pole star. Like it shines better than a pole star, her nose ring. And her lips, her lipstick is reddish. Her lips are reddish like the hue. When you have sunset, that redness in the sun, if all that redness is condensed, condensed form, if it's there in one place, that is the redness of her lips. And her teeth are like ripened pomegranate seeds. So, and whenever she smiles, it's like 1,000 golden lotuses are blossoming at the same time. That is the brilliance of her smile. And her earrings are swinging all the time, and they hit the cheeks. And when they hit the cheeks, they make a beautiful sound, and it is better than Gandharva singing in the heavenly planets. They say just that sound of her earrings is so beautiful. And Rupa Goswami writes that Radharani's neck is like a conch shell with 3 lines on it, and her abdomen also has 3 lines. And her neck is adorned with a jewel locket, brilliant, beautiful locket. She wears a garland of jasmine flowers, and sometimes she wears a garland of champaka flowers. So I think we have to remember that they might be 2 of her favorite flowers. And she wears a blue sari mostly because she likes the color blue. And the slender waist is beautified by a waist belt. And there are thousands of small bells on the belt. And whenever she moves, they make a tinkling sound. And her arms defeat the golden lotus, they say. So that this is a description. And they start moving, and they're so effulgent that even the sun god closes his eyes because he cannot, the sun is effulgent. If the sun has to close his eyes, can you imagine that effulgence? And Rupa Goswami writes that her fingers are as delicate as a creeper, and she wears urmika rings. Now, I don't know what this urmika ring is. Maybe somebody in the audience knows. So, but that's the description that is given. And he writes that Radharani's blackish curly hair enchants the entire universe. And the remaining portion, she sometimes braids it, and the remaining portion hangs around her hips. And the beautiful blackish hair is decorated with fragrant flowers. Now there's another story, so I would like to weave those stories into this description. The story of Kusuma, how Kusuma Sarovar came about. Because one time the gopis were picking flowers in the forest, and by accident they had a blanket, but they dropped they had a basket, and they dropped the flowers from the basket. And Radharani asked Krishna, "What should we do now? We've dropped the flowers on the floor." So Krishna said, "Oh, not to worry. We'll go to the Yamuna and wash the flowers, and I will decorate the flowers and put it in your hair." And that sounded like a very good. Radharani was very pleased with that. She always likes to be with Krishna. But then she said, "Oh, I don't think we should go. The Yamuna is too far away." She didn't want Krishna to move away for even that long. So then Krishna says, Krishna knowing her mood, what he does with his flute, he digs a hole, and then water comes in there, water is formed, the body of water is formed, and that is Kusuma Sarovar. And it's called Kusuma Sarovar because the flowers that fell down were washed in that body of water. And then Krishna decorated Radharani's hair. And when Krishna was decorating Radharani's hair, Radharani was holding a mirror in such a way that she could see Krishna in the back. So she was very happy to see Krishna. And Krishna was very happy decorating her hair. So they were very happy, and all the gopis enjoyed that pastime of the divine couple. Because whenever the divine couple, the whole goal of the gopis is to get them together and to unite them. That's their pleasure. All the manjaris and gopis are constantly working towards that goal. So they were also very happy. Everybody had a wonderful pastime. And so then they said from the distance, the braided hair appears like a snake, like a cobra. And there is another nice story, so I would like to tell that also. Rupa Goswami, in one of his compositions, Chatu Pushpanjali it's called, and he writes the description of Radharani's hair that from a distance it looks like a cobra is lurking in a champaka, behind a champaka creeper. That's the description he gives. And Raghunath Goswami actually didn't like that description. He said, "How can you compare Radharani's hair to a poisonous snake?" And he thought that was inappropriate. And he thought, I think either he expressed it or he thought about it in his mind, and Radharani knew that. So on Shravan Purnima, one of the Shravan Purnimas, Raghunath Goswami was doing his bhajan kuti, near Radha Kundi, was doing his bhajan. And in a distance, he saw a group of girls, beautiful young girls, and one of the girls was being pushed on a swing, and her friends were around her laughing. And on the back, he saw like a snake behind her, and he thought, "Oh my God, oh foolish girl, you're laughing, and there's a snake on your back." So he runs towards that group of, girls to stop and to help the cobra, to chase the cobra away. But when he goes near it, he realizes that it's a prey. And then all her friends start laughing. And then after a while, they disappear. And then Raghunath Goswami understands that it is Radharani herself came to give him the understanding that Rupa Goswami's description that a prey is like a cobra is actually correct. So Radharani herself came to give that knowledge to Raghunath Goswami. So that is the description of her hair. And sometimes from the clock you're blocking, so I can't tell. Okay. So her beauty is so beautiful. So all the damsels faint at her lotus feet. And sometimes the acharyas are elaborately, finally all the acharyas have written or eternally elaborately written about the glories of Radharani's feet. And there are 19 distinguishing marks on Radharani's feet. And Rupa Goswami writes that Brahma, Indra, Shiva, Varuna are all hankering for a speck of dust for a pollen of the lotus feet of Radharani. And he writes that may that Sri Radha, whose lotus feet are adorned with beautiful marks and desired by the demigods from the heavenly planets, be the shelter of my existence. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, those who fail to take shelter of Sri Radha's lotus feet have wasted their lives. And Vrindavan Dham, which is already beautiful, is decorated by the beautiful lotus prints of Radharani's lotus feet. And those who cling to the lotus feet of Radharani without fail becomes Krishna's property. Because Krishna is Radharani's property, and whoever takes shelter of Radharani, they also get shelter of Krishna. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami finally writes in Radhastami that Radharani cannot bear even a moment's separation from Krishna, and that she's the beautiful daughter of Vrishabhala Maharaj, and maybe she be the shelter of my existence. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur also writes that the whole life is to serve Sri Radhika's lotus feet, and he's hankering for a divine lotus feet. He writes, I do not want wealth desired by the worldly people. I have only one desire: give me shelter at your lotus feet. And then I would like to have a little pastime, current pastime. You know that Pankajami Prabhu recently left the world. He was a very elevated soul, and I love listening to their pastimes. So in one of his memories, one Prabhuji was saying that when he goes on Rajamandal Parikrama, he always carries toffee with himself. And then whenever he meets children, he loves children, he says, can you say Hare Krishna? When they say Hare Krishna, he gives them a toffee. So one time he was doing that, and a brother and sister, two Brajavasi kids, approached him and said, Baba toffee, they were asking him. And then he said, can you say Hare Krishna? And the boy said Hare Krishna, and Prabhuji gave him a toffee, Bhaktivinoda Prabhu that is. And then the girl said Baba toffee. And so when he said, can you say Hare Krishna? She said, Jai Shri Radhe. And so Prabhuji was putting his hand in his bag to give him a toffee, and then several toffees fell out of the bag. And the little girl said, Baba, this is Vrindavan. If you say Krishna's name, you get only what you deserve. But if you say Radharani's name, you get more than what you deserve. And so he was so happy with that. And so the Prabhuji wanted to see the reaction of Bhaktirani Prabhu. So when he turned his head, he couldn't see him. And when he see him on the floor, he was doing Dandavat Pranam, he was doing prostrated obeisances to the little girl, and said, can you please pray for your Radharani for me? That was his humility. So I thought that's a nice thing to illustrate how Radharani and all of the Brajavasis have this mood, you know. When you go to Vrindavan, they say Radhe Radhe, even the rickshaw driver, they say Jai Shri Radhe. Nobody says Hare Krishna. I mean, very few people. I'm not saying that Krishna is less important, but they know the importance of Radharani and how to approach Krishna through Radharani. And finally, I want to say that Prabhupada was such a great devotee of Radharani. When he was a child, his father used to invite all the sannyasis to his home and feed them and say, can you bless my son that he will be a great devotee of Radharani? And Prabhupada brought the glories of Radharani all over the world. Today, if you're speaking of Radharani, if we know so much about Radharani, if we know so much about the Goswami literature, it's only because of Prabhupada. So we all owe him a debt of, gratitude. And so I actually had, of course, I have no time, so I'm not going to go over it. But in the Madhurya Rasa, there's two moods. There's Vamya Bhav and Dakshina Bhav. Vamya Bhav is when you submit to Krishna's will, and then when you oppose Krishna will, that is Dakshina Bhav. So Chandravali is the leader of the gopis, and they're very submissive to Krishna. But Radharani and her Sakhis, her gopis, are like contrary, they like to oppose Krishna's will. And Krishna actually, out of the two, he likes the Dakshina Bhav. He likes when people oppose him more than, like when Yashodamai chastises him, he likes it better than when somebody is glorifying him, because the mood in Vrindavan is so different. So, and also in Chaitanya Charitamrita, in Amrita, when they went to Amrita, Radharani's body became sharp, and she got the blue color because she was so intensely thinking about him and thinking of in separation. And Lord Chaitanya also, when he went to the same place, his body also became blue. he was golden, you know, the project and the golden avatar, but he became blue. So that's also like in English, it happened in English color because both Radharani and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu have the same mode of separation from Krishna. So anyway, I have a lot of more, but I think I will stop here because it's time. And there's 25 qualities of Radharani, and that is also, you know, I copied it down because and like I said, descriptions of her beauty, it's all endless. Radharani's glories are endless. It's like Krishna's glories, there's no limit to it. So you can speak for hours and hours and think about it, you know, and there's still some fresh pastime, something new comes up, you know. So you can, and even the same pastime, if you narrate it again, it has a freshness to it, you know, it's just like Krishna's stories. We never tire of it. We may hear the same story on Janmashtami, might be the 200th time we hear, but there's something new to it. You know, there's a new fragrance, a new flavor to it. So that's how Krishna and Radharani's pastimes are. So I will stop here. If anybody, I wanted to speak about some more pastimes in the Gaur Leela, but there's no time since I've only been given. So I'm going to stop here. If anybody has any comments, any questions, I mean, I'm not going to answer questions, but I was trying. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see.
I just had one comment at the very beginning. You mentioned how it's like when Krishna kills the demons, the demons are benefited, and you gave an example that stops them from committing more sin. The church is more than just that.
Yeah, that's one of the benefits. Yeah, they also get the Sayuja Mukti. They go back to the, they don't get service of Krishna, but they merge into the Brahmajyoti. Yeah, so they get multiple benefits, but that's one of the benefits. In other words, it stops them from doing harm to more people and more things. That's the agent effect. But of course, they get more than that. That's for sure. In other words, Krishna is always, but any activity that Krishna does, because it's absolute, is always beneficial to the beginning. Nothing that Krishna does is harmful for the beginning. Let us put it that way. Nothing that he ever does is harmful. Everything that he does is beneficial. He's so merciful. But then again, Radharani is even more merciful. So you can imagine the extent of her mercy. So for us, Gaudiya Vaishnava is very important, Radharani. And then logic, because the scriptures don't talk much about it. Like for example, the Srimad Bhagavatam doesn't talk much about it. They say because Sudevi Goswami was the parent of Radharani in the spiritual world, and he only had 7 days to speak the Bhagavatam, and if he spoke about her, he would go into ecstasy, and so that's why he refrained himself. And another thing that I've read is that Sanatana Goswami writes that the gopis approached Shukadeva Goswami in his heart and said, please don't reveal our pastimes because they're so intimate, we'll be embarrassed. But Shukadeva Goswami said, but they're the highest, highest experience that the jiva can get, and the world will benefit from it. But they said, then don't mention our names, because there were saintly people, there were a lot of kings, there were a lot of very elevated devotees, and the gopis didn't want their private things in public. So they said that, and so he refrained. But still, in one place, it says, Ananya Radhya Nunam. There was one verse in the thing during the Rasa Leela. So indirectly, he spoke about Radharani, but he did not directly speak, and they say that is the reason. But then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself, came to reveal the glories of Radharani and the gopis. And a lot of gopis and manjaris assisted him in Gaur Leela. So there is a book for Gauda Desha Deepika. No, I'm going to say it wrong, where all the manjaris are said. They say that Srinivasacharya, which kind of manjari, there is some place, like what's that? Gopal Bhatta Goswami is Guna Manjari, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is Kamala Manjari, and there's a few of them, I can't remember them off hand. But Srinivasacharya is Mani Manjari, and then Ramchandra Kaviraj is Karuna Manjari. So a lot of these manjaris and gopis, they invented along with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They say that Swarup Damodar is Lalita Sakhi, and then Ramananda Rai is Vishaka Sakhi. So all the Sakhis and the manjaris invented during Gaur Leela to assist Mahaprabhu in the Sankirtan movement. And Mahaprabhu himself advertised the glories of Radharani. And that's why it's in the Goswami literature that we have so much information about Radharani and the highest bridge of grade. Because of Mahaprabhu, we know that now. But it's not directly mentioned in some of the older scriptures. I was sorry if I went over. Sorry, Krishna. Anybody doesn't have comments at end? Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna devotees, so we're going to be singing Radhika Ashtakam now. The author of this bhajan is Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami, and the bhajan is present in the movement that we now make. The lyrics are displayed on the projector. Bye. translation.
Translation.
Her splendorous golden complexion steals the pride of a golden lotus flower, anointed with a tinge of red kumkum. Her sweet fragrance mocks the fame of the aroma of a lotus flower sprinkled with saffron powder. She is fully qualified to fulfill all the desires of the son of the king of the powerful men. May Sri Radhika bestow upon me the service of her own lotus feet. Her amazing and colorful silken garments make the splendor of red coral feel ashamed. She is a garden of blossoming flowers where the maddened bumblebee named Krishna performs amorous pastimes. She worships the sun god daily in order to attain the continual association of her beloved Krishna. May Sri Radhika bestow upon me the service of her lotus feet. Her charming youthful delicacy negates the fame of the freshly sprouted leaves. Her refreshing form is worthy of being served by the cooling moon, sandalwood paste, lotus flowers, and camphor. When she touches the master of the gopis, she dispels the burning heart of his lusty desires. May Sri Radhika bestow upon me the service of her own lotus feet. Although the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Devi, is adored by other youthful goddesses who are themselves glorified throughout the universe, still she is nowhere near Sri Radhika in the matter of beauty, praiseworthy youthfulness, or other divine feminine opulences. There is no one in the material or the spiritual worlds that is superior to Radhika in the expression of naturally loving pastimes. May Sri Radhika bestow upon me the service of her own lotus feet. She is very learned in many transcendental arts, such as performing in the rasa dance, singing, and joking. She is decorated with many divine qualities, such as loving nature, exquisite beauty, and wonderful garments. Even among the cowherd damsels of Braja, who are praised by the entire universe, she is the best in every way. May Sri Radhika bestow upon me the service of her own lotus feet. She possesses the opulences of eternal youthful beauty, eternal pastimes, and eternal love for Krishna. Her ecstatic feelings of love for Krishna cause the gopis who are also in love with Krishna to tremble. She is always attached to meditating on Krishna's beautiful form, ornaments, garments, and pastimes. May Sri Radhika bestow upon me the service of her own lotus feet. She is graced with the 8 ecstatic symptoms such as trembling, perspiring, standing up on bodily hairs, tears, faltering of the voice, and so forth. She is adorned with different ecstatic emotional ornaments such as impatience, joy, contrariness, and so forth. She is decorated with beautiful jewels that give total delight to the eyes of Krishna. May Sri Radhika bestow upon me the service of her own lotus feet. If she is apart from Krishna for even half a moment, she becomes stricken with wretched suffering, restlessness, and a multitude of other ecstatic symptoms of separation. When she regains the association of Krishna after some effort, then all of her anguish immediately vanishes. May Sri Radhika bestow upon me the service of her own lotus feet. It is very difficult for Parvati and other exalted goddesses to attain even a glimpse of Srimati Radharani, who is dear to Lord Krishna. But if someone glorifies her by reciting these 8 verses, then she, who is delighted by Krishna's continuous association, will grant the sweet nectar of her personal service to that person, who thereby enters the assembly of her similarly delighted girlfriends.
Srimati Radharani ki. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Shila Prabhupada, Jaya Shri Shri Radha Godadev ki Jai, Radharani ki Jai, Lakshmi Nrsimhade Bhagwan ki Jai. Namo Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prestaya, Bhutale, Srimati Bhakti Vedanta, Swamin Niti Namine. Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Govinda Radhe
Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Bhagavacharya Srimati Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Jagadguru Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Panditi Tandacharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Nityananda Pradesh Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Bhagavacharya Srimati Srimati Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Om Swami Maharaj Jai Prabhupada Ki Jai Anand Vaishnavinda Ki Jai Brahmacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Praise Lord Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Jai Hare Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyamu Radha Kundi Govardhana Ki Jai Radha Kundi Bhagavatam Ki Jai Maya Purana Ki Jai Shodam Shankara Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai Ramai Ki Jai Jai Ki Jai Devi Ki Jai Tulsi Mahari Ki Jai Radharashmi Bhagavatam Ki Jai Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai Bhagavatam Ki Jai Shri Rup Shri Sanatan Bhagavatam Shri Shiva Gopala Bhagavad Dasa Raghunath Shatosmani Guru Ki Jai Jai Govardhan Shri Radhastami Ki Jai Srimati Radharani Ki Jai Radhastami Ki Jai Mahababa Swamini Srimati Radhika Ki Jai Govardhan All glories to the Assembly. All glories to the Assembly. All glories to the Assembly. All glories to Shri Shri Guru Maharaj.
Namaste Narasingaya.
Namaste Radharani.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much everybody for coming for the special Radhastami celebration today. The actual day of Srimati Radharani's appearance day is tomorrow, Monday, September 13th. Hare Bol. For those of you who can, it is recommended that we fast till noon tomorrow. There will be a program in the evening. It's online only, and the program starts at 7 p.m. Thursday. Is there anybody here who's visiting an ISKCON center for the first time? Anybody here who's visiting an ISKCON center for the first time? Anybody here who's visiting this temple for the first time? Okay. Thank you very much for coming. We have a special gift for you. It's a book by Radharani Prabhupada. And we are going to request that you share your contact information with Radhastami Prabhu. Radhastami Prabhu, you have to raise your hand. He's in the back. That way we can add you to the email distribution list which we maintain for the temple to keep you informed about the programs and events. Thursday, September 16th is Ekadashi. Again, for those of whom you can, it's recommended that we fast from grains, beans, peas, legumes, and then fast breaking is on Friday morning. Sunday, October 3rd, we will be having a grand opening and a welcoming ceremony for Lord Jagannath, Lord Baldev, Subhadra Devi, Gaur Nitai, Narsin Dev, Giriraj, and Shaligram Shilas here at the Glastonbury Temple. The program runs from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. on October 3rd.
Let somebody out. Let someone out.
Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I'm gonna speak out the name of the key sponsors, devotees who sponsor the program for today and for tomorrow. So when I speak out the name of the family, we will chant a collective Hari Bol for them. And then after the announcements are over and the fees, the chanting for the fees sponsors is over, then you can come to the table in the back of the room there and come collect your Mahaprashadam. So we're not going to distribute Mahaprashadam now, we're going to distribute Mahaprashadam after the program is over. So starting with Rasraj Prabhu and family. Dulal Krishna Prabhu and family. Sudevi Priya Mataji and family. Mata Gopal Prabhu and family.
So Hari Bol please say Radhe Radhe.
Alright, Captain. Where was that? Anand Gaurav Prabhu and family. Amisha, Rajni and Veena Patel family. Chennaya Prabhu and family. Geeta and Jagdish Shah family. Geetamala Mataji and family. Janwarani Mataji, Janu Prabhu and family. Mata Kanta Prabhu and family. Abhiram Jugu Prabhu and family. Raga Sindhu Prabhu and family. Satendra Prabhu, Priti Mataji and Darsh family. Jill and Gary Ramos family. Manishi and Dev Prabhu family. Ganpati Govind family. Manish Prabhu, Gunjan Mataji and family. Jai Radhe Devi Dasi. Srinivas Acharya Prabhu and family. Damodar Swarup Prabhu and family. Anand Vrindavan Prabhu and family. Sundar Gopinath Prabhu and family.
Radhe Radhe.
Neela Lena family and Shyam Lena.
Radhe Radhe.
Bhakt Ras Evan.
Radhe Radhe.
Glory Gupta is sponsoring for Radhastami and for her father Raj Gupta.
Radhe Radhe.
Opilal family.
Radhe Radhe.
Omeo family.
Radhe Radhe.
And last but not the least, our outfit sponsors for today, Jai Radha Devi Dasi. We have a bhajan now?
There's a question.
Yes.
Is there a program tomorrow on how to attend Thursday morning?
Prabhu, the program is online, virtual, and login details, you can see Dev Prabhu,
It's a temple Zoom.
the standard temple Zoom and the standard password. The standard password. 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Yes, Mother Kanta, do you have a question? Geeta Nagari milk is here, so please collect your bottles before you leave. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Now we would have a short video by Prabhupada on Radhastami.
So, I am very pleased that you are keeping this center nicely in our own standard by performing Yajna, by Sankirtan, and today is Radhastami. We perform. Our Yajna is Sankirtan, and Srimati Radharani is the pleasure potency of Krishna. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikiti Alladini Shakti Rasmad Ekatmanavapi Deho Bhedo Gato. Sri Chaitanyakha Prakatamadhuna Taddayam Chekamartam. When Krishna is one, Ekamaya Advitya, but Ekam Bahushyama, he can expand himself. So, when he wants to enjoy, so the pleasure potency is manifested from his personal body. That pleasure potency is Radharani. Radharani is not ordinary living entity. Radharani is Krishna's personal pleasure potency, Alladini Shakti. So, just today is the appearance day of Alladini Shakti. So, if you want to please Krishna, because our business is to please Krishna, Haritosana. Our this movement is Haritosana. Samsiddhi Haritosana. Atapung vidijasreshta varnasama vibhavasa. Varnasama vibhavasa. Sanusthitasya dharmasya samsiddhi haritosana. Right? Not only our, this is the aim. And the Bhagavad Gita is also saying, Vedashta sarvai ameva vedyam. The whole Vedic literature is meant for searching out Krishna and to satisfy. So Krishna personally comes to give you the information. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sarvam. You rascal, you give up all this and you expect simply you surrender. And what about other demigods? There are so many demigods. What do we have to do? The kamastasya hitogyana. This demigod is worshipped by persons who have lost all intelligence. Hitogyana. Hitogyana means nashtabuddha. One who has lost intelligence. There is no need. Simply mamekam. That is the instruction of Bhagavad. That is the Shastra instruction. Vishnu aradhate pumsam. Nannat tattva sukha. Nati vidu sartha gatim in Vishnu. Om tad Vishnu paramam padam sada pasya. This is Rigved mantra. Actual aim of life is to satisfy Lord Vishnu. And Krishna is the origin of Vishnu Tattva. And he is pleased through Radharani. Therefore we don't keep Krishna alone. No. Radha Krishna. First Radharani. So that day is today. First you have to worship Radharani. If you go through Radharani, therefore in Vrindavan you will see all devotees, they will address one another. Jai Radhe still. Because they know that if Radharani is pleased, if I can please Radharani, Radharani is presented, the original pleasure potency, always absorbed in thought of Krishna. So anyone who comes before Radharani to serve Krishna, she becomes so pleased. Here is a devotee of Krishna. She immediately recommends Krishna, here is a devotee. He is better than me. This is Radha. I may be not devotee. I may be most fallen, rascal. But if I try to reach Krishna through Radharani, then my business is successful. Therefore, we should worship Radharani first. That is our business. Instead of offering directly one flower to Krishna, you just put it in the hands of Radharani. My mother Radharani, Jagannatha, if you kindly take this flower and offer to Krishna. Radharani, you have brought a flower. Krishna says, Patram Vishwam Phalam Toyam Jivami Bhakta Prajitchati. But don't try to offer Krishna direct. Just offer to Radha. It will be very much appreciated by Radha. So, this is our philosophy, to please Krishna through Radharani, and this today is the auspicious day of Radharani's appearance. So you should offer Pushpanjali and pray to Radharani that Radharani, kindly be merciful and tell about me to your Krishna. To your Krishna. Krishna is your. Krishna, Radha Krishna. Krishna is not independent. Krishna is Radharani's property. So you have to approach Krishna through Radharani. That is, today is the auspicious day. Worship Radharani very nicely and be happy. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Prabhupada ki jai.
This is no ordinary man. He saved money on auto insurance without sacrifice.
Navanavangi Trivangi Jaya Sham Shivangi Radhe. Navanavangi Trivangi Jaya Sham Shivangi Radhe. Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe 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 Jai Radhe Jai Shri Radhe Jai Krishna Krishna Jai Krishna Jai Shri Krishna. Oh Shri Radhe, you are a fresh young maiden with slender waist, endowed with the luster of new adolescence. The fair is golden complexion, eternally stimulated in the sweet blossoming of divine youth. You are the only perfect man, but you are both most beloved. Oh Shri Krishna, you are the true relation of transcendental mellows, sweet and relishable in every aspect. The first is that you represent the topmost super excellence of your pure enhancement, and in great pride due to your awareness of your own transcendental qualities.
O Sri Radhe, you are the sportive princess of the ecstatic Rasa Dance Festival, which you organize every night, the distributor of pure ecstatic Rasa melons to all other living beings. O Sri Radhe, you are the sportive princess of the ecstatic Rasa Dance Festival, which you organize every night, the distributor of pure ecstatic Rasa melons to all other living entities. And you love to embrace the gist of your lover. O Shri Krishna, you are the connoisseur of newer and youthful playful sports. You like to stand in tree-bending posture, that you always appear ever fresh, and your body is perfectly exquisite in both proportion and deep dark complexion.
Oh Shri Radhe, you are the most dear, loving friend of everyone's life. You manifest a brilliant splendor of sheer beauty. You are extremely soft and delicate due to your freshness. Oh Shri Krishna, you are the enchanter of the line of Cupid. You are the giver of great transcendental bliss to all living entities, and your beauty surpasses the best by far. Oh Shri Radha, you are the manifestation of wonderful beauty while you are gracefully reclining on a flower bed. You radiate the luster of the transcendental Cupid, Lord Kamadeva. Your speech sounds just like the soft, gentle cooing of a cuckoo bird. Oh Shri Krishna, you are honored by your own glorious fame. You are the lover of lusty young gopis. Your position is the highest among all of the different forms of Godhead.
Oh Shri Radhe, you are the possessor of a spotless gold face. Your teeth look like small round jasmine flowers. You're the very abode of majestic beauty and splendor. Oh Shri Krishna, extremely magnanimous personality. Your body aura radiates into unlimited eternity. You are naturally endowed with softness of extremely youthful charms.
Oh Sri Rama, you are fond of walking like a majestic swan. You are the most radiant lover and the instigator of many fun sports and contests. Oh Sri Krishna, you are the embodiment of the most relishable type of beauty and the topmost merciful personality.
Oh Shri Radhe, you're just like a golden creeper wound around Shama Tamala tree. You're completely full to the brim with ecstatic mellows of purely divine love. Your unique activities are conducted in complete privacy. Oh Shri Krishna, you're the ocean of all types of happiness. You are the mine of all qualities, and you radiate a famous aura of glorious beauty.
Oh Sri Radhe, you are the most charming mistress of your beloved. You are naturally situated at the topmost level of success and greatness, and your divine qualities are imperceptible to ordinary senses or minds. Oh Sri Krishna, you are a permanent resident of holy abode of Sri Vraja. You radiate a most influential aura. You naturally wear a pleasant smile.
Oh Shri Radhe, you're the very potency of divine pleasure. Your speech is such that whoever hears it becomes lovingly attached to it. Your breasts are crazed with the wildest desire to be satisfied by your beloved. Oh Shri Krishna, you're endowed with such beautiful bodily limbs that each and every aspect of them is very captivating. Your beauty is indeed saturated with all-pervading, overflowing rasa current. Your chest is beautifully endowed with majestic divine opulences.
Oh Sri Radhe, you are celebrated with the most blessed name of Radha. You please everyone with your good qualities. You are the only worshipable queen for Hari Priya, the author of Hari Vyasadeva. Hare Hare Hari Hare Hare Hari, Hare Hare Hari, Sri Krishna. Shri Shri Radharani ki Jai.
Radhastami ki
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much again for participating in the celebration this evening. The key sponsors can collect their bags from the table behind in the corner of the room. Radharani Mataji, can you raise your hand? Please collect the sponsor bags from Radharani Mataji. Everybody can come forward for darshan and then head downstairs to collect the 2 book box of prasad. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.